There's been some brilliant documentaries coming out of Australia over the last couple of weeks. Previously, we've taken a look at the Barraville murders. Now I'm taking a look at a new documentary that has been put together by Australian filmmaker and journalist Daisy Gideon. It's called Enough, Lebanon's Darkest Hour. Now, we were all shocked a couple of years ago when Beirut had a massive explosion that ripped apart it as a city. Now, in the lead up to that, we'd kind of been led to believe that Beirut was a modern city that was on its way to becoming a powerhouse. What we didn't realize was that underneath all of that, there was still a lot of political corruption, and that political corruption made everyday life for people living in Beirut shocking. Not just Beirut, but Lebanon in general. Daisy Gideon, as a documentary maker, is perfect to tell this story because she has a Lebanese background. She is an Aussie who has spent time working in Lebanon as a journalist. And during that time, some of the stuff that she's uncovered is pretty murky. Now, if you've already taken a listen to the interview that I did with Daisy about this documentary, you will realise that there is a real concern about this documentary coming to light. This documentary picked up an award at the Cannes Film Festival, but the worry is what will happen when this documentary gets a general release, which is what we're talking about right now. Because this documentary uncovers so many things to do with corruption with the Lebanese government, and as this documentary also tells the story, people that have uncovered or spoken out against that corruption in the past haven't always lived very long after they've told that story. Now, what Daisy has done here is an amazing job. She goes back and looks at some of the things that you might consider trivial, but they are completely ridiculous and just shows what the corruption level is like amongst the government in Lebanon. It looks at how this modern city of Beirut still can't have a regular garbage pickup like we would have with garbage trucks coming every week because some corrupt politician signed a deal with a company that's dodgy. So people don't have rubbish taken away every week. Likewise, we see this ridiculous situation that the city has found itself in with electricity. Again, another corrupt politician signed a dodgy deal, and some areas of Beirut and other areas of Lebanon don't have power or water every day as a result of this dodgy dealings. This documentary also looks at how defeated the Lebanese people are, in that they basically go, well, there's no point voting at the election because it's already rigged. And Daisy does an amazing job talking to people in modern day Beirut about why they don't vote. She talks to people about what they know about the corruption in the area. And as she says, the massive port explosion that happened might have exposed a lot of this to the rest of the world, but has much changed since. And that's what this documentary takes a look at. This documentary is absolutely compelling. I know quite often, for people that know me personally, they'll know that I'm pretty skeptical about current affairs programs. Like, I don't even waste my time watching shows like A Current Affair or 60 Minutes because, as far as I'm concerned, they're not exposing anything. A Current Affair's practically a walking television commercial half the time. This documentary, put together by Daisy, this is what a current affair journalism is really about. The people at 60 Minutes should hang their head in shame that they haven't uncovered this story previously, because what we see here in Enough, Lebanon's Darkest Hour, is just absolutely shocking. It is something that'll stay with you. Since I watched this doco, I've been keeping an eye on the news to see what's happening in Lebanon. And you have to dig pretty deep to find it on the internet. But this is just a stunning documentary. This is a documentary that anyone that's interested in world affairs and current affairs should definitely watch. I know I've given out a few of these recently to some documentaries, but again, 5 stars for this documentary. It is an absolutely brilliant and stunning documentary.